All right, I guess my mic wasn't on, so we're going to do take two here. Welcome, good morning, and welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Rogue Valley. I'm Kimberly Hawkins, Spiritual Director here, and it's my honor and delight that you decided to join us for our Sunday celebration. We're an inclusive, progressive spiritual community teaching both ancient wisdom and new thought, the spiritual truths that run through all the major faith traditions. And we honor and welcome you no matter where you may happen to be on your own personal spiritual path. We have a real treat for you this morning. Our guest speaker today is Laura Stewart, who has been a beloved practitioner in our community and is a second-year ministerial school student at Holmes Institute. She will be giving the message this morning, her first Sunday message for us here at CSL RV, and we're so excited to hear what she has to say and to welcome and support her in that milestone. Holding high watch is another practitioner from home, Nancy Clay. Our Facebook chat manager this morning is Alexa Ehrlich, and please feel free to type your name and where you're viewing from in the chat so we can connect in that way. Our musicians this morning are Anton Miserak and Laura Berryhill, and we go to them now for our opening song,
which is a song by Ricky Byers.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love
in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around.
Let me know
that love is all around. Oh, let me know that love is all around.
Let me know
that love is all around. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live
in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me learn from all the ways I fall.
Let me learn
from all the ways I fall. Oh, let me know that love can heal us all. Let me know that love can heal us all. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love
in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love
in a holy, holy way.
and let's go into prayer together. As I take a deep breath and encourage us all to do so, what I know is we are surrounded by, infused with, breathed by a presence and a power that is absolute love, pure peace, infinite creativity, exquisite order, and so much more. Whatever name we may choose to call it, spirit, God, the ground of all being, cosmic consciousness, Father, Mother, God. It goes by many names, but it is a presence that is changeless and eternal, and yet ever evolving, ever expressing itself, wanting to express itself fully through each one of us here on this planet and beyond. I know that because we are made of God's stuff, we can never be separate from all that Spirit is, the goodness, the abundance, the joy, the love, the peace. We are Godlings in expression, the divine in expression. And so this morning, as we come together to celebrate this truth, to lift up our hearts, to remind us that we are part of this cosmic whole, that we can never be separate either from God or from one another. I know that this service unfolds with nuggets of truth, of clarity, of upliftment for each one listening today or later on the recording. I bless this team that has come together to make this broadcast possible. I say a special word of blessing this morning for our beautiful speaker, Laura Stewart, practitioner and minister in training. I bless each one who may be celebrating, worshiping today, whether it's in an ashram, a temple, a synagogue, a yoga mat, or perhaps just in nature, knowing that there are many paths to the one God, one presence, one power. And so in gratitude for this opportunity to come together in consciousness today, I release this word into that infinite heart of God, what we call the law, which hears every word we speak, even before it leaves our mouths, and says, yes, my beloveds, it is done. And we say together, and so it is. Amen. Our topic this morning is prayer. Laura's talk title is Affirmative Prayer is a Way of Life. And so I have two brief readings for us this morning. The first is a poem by Mary Oliver she calls Praying. It doesn't have to be the blue iris. It could be weeds in a vacant lot or a few small stones. Just pay attention, then patch a few words together. And don't try to make them elaborate. This isn't a contest, but the doorway into thanks and a silence in which another voice may speak. And from The Pathway of Roses by Christian Larson on prayer. To pray is not simply asking God, it is also going to God. The most beautiful prayer is not uttered in words, but is felt in the sacred depths of the soul. And so it is. We go now back to Laura and Anton.
We're going to do a wonderful old song from the Unity Songbook by Lucille Olson, a classic song with timeless wisdom.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts hears our prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
Good morning. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Laura Stewart, and I'm a practitioner here at the Rogue Valley Center for Spiritual Living. This has been my spiritual home for, almost 16 years now. And I'm also entering into my third year of ministerial school. Wow, this moment has been a long time in the making. I was going to start with a prayer, and I'd still like to do that just to ground myself and to center myself because I'm a little nervous right now. So if you feel called to, I invite you to close your eyes. In this moment, I quiet my mind and open my heart. I release all of the things around me, turning within and relaxing into the awareness that there is only peace, there is only love, there is only joy, there is only God right here and right now. Centered in this place, I am renewed and I am whole. There's nothing lacking. I am fully present to the truth of my perfection and the perfection of my life. The peace that I feel right now and the contentment is exquisite, for I know who I am. And I live from this consciousness. My life is a beautiful reflection of this. And I give great thanks. So I simply release this into the spirit of love and the action of the law, knowing that it is done, it is so, and so it is. So when I first was introduced to Science of Mind, New Thought wasn't unfamiliar to me, but I wasn't fully immersed in it by any means. And I jumped into my first class, which was Foundations, and was absolutely amazed with affirmative prayer and just the power of it. What I really like, to be honest with you, is the fact that there's a really clean order to it. And I'm really good at following directions, unless I'm not. And there's a process to this prayer. It was so different than anything I'd ever experienced before. I was brought up in the Catholic faith where I went to God asking for things. I went outside of myself. And if I was good enough, then God would give me what I was asking for. And I always figured that if it didn't come true, then it was because there was something wrong with me, that I wasn't doing something quite right. Science of Mind gives us the opportunity to know the truth of who we are. In fact, the first step of affirmative prayer is recognition, knowing that God is all there is. The second step is unification. I am one with God. The third is realization. Life is good and only good, followed by thanks and release. So after I'd taken Foundations, I tried to pray affirmatively on a daily basis, and I went through the steps and it felt good, and I was picking out the right words, and my life was getting better and better. And then I came to realize after quite a long time that prayer isn't simply something that I do in the morning. It's not something that I say and then go about my business. I looked at those steps and realized that affirmative prayer is a way of life. It's how we show up in the world. Oh, wow, that was such a liberating concept for me to learn and to begin to embody. There was so much freedom in it. Knowing that God is all there is kind of cleared off the lens of the glasses that I was looking through. It allowed me to see God everywhere. Knowing that God is lavish, unfailing, life and perfection and wholeness gave me permission to see that in everything around me and everyone around me, in all situations. And guess what? Knowing that God is all there is and there's absolutely nothing else, holy cow, that perfection, that wholeness exists in, through, and as me. And it gave me, I started realizing that the way I show up in the world is God in action. That I am the place where God shows up to experience life uniquely and perfectly and wholly through me, through every aspect of my being. And I started to ask myself, am I living from my wholeness, or am I living from my fear and my limitations? Because if I am God, I am unlimited. I am power. I am peace. I am perfection. I am wholeness. I am the all in all, expressing in, through, and as me everywhere. And that's magnificent. My life is a perfect reflection of God in action. Everything in my life is God. My life is a reflection of my conscious awareness of my divinity. Our divinity is showing up through our humanity. There is no separation. It is just one. And that means when I'm having a rough day and people aren't showing up the way I'd like them to, I need to honor and respect the way that God is showing up in their life. I need to know that that person is holy and whole and complete just the way that they are and just the way that they are not. There are no mistakes. There is nothing missing. There is nothing lacking. It is all good. And I've come to realize that when I am in prayer and I'm wanting to manifest something in my life, I need to look at what is getting in the way of that manifestation. Because just because I am a practicing metaphysician does not mean that I don't have things in my life, limitations, fears, things that I need to get out of the way to allow that divine perfection and that divine flow to come through me. For example, we live kind of not off the grid by any means, but we live out in the country a little ways. We're not on city water. We're on a pump. We have a well. And our property is irrigated. We get our water from an irrigation ditch. And they turned that water on. They allowed it to flow earlier this week, a little earlier than we were expecting. But, it felt so good to see the water. Because I knew that that means that we would have the frogs and the birds and everything else that comes to that water. But I'm kind of going off on a little tangent there, so let me recenter myself. What I'd like to share is that we were on Friday getting our pump up and ready to turn our sprinkler system on. And there's a culvert that the water passes through, and there's grass that hangs over it, and it was collecting a lot of debris. When they turn the ditch on, what first comes down is everything that was sitting there in that ditch over the last 9 months. All of the acorns and the rocks, the branches, the pine cones, all sorts of trash and debris. And it was piling up in front of the culvert. So we had water coming through to the pump, but not nearly as much water as what was accumulating behind the dam of debris. So I got a pitchfork, and I set myself up. I sat on top of the culvert, and I kind of straddled over it. And with this pitchfork, I started removing all of the stuff that was in the way and tossing it to the side along the ditch road. And it didn't take long before those things were removed, before all of a sudden the water started to come through. And those things that I was removing are similar to the thoughts and the beliefs that we have about ourselves and about our world that get in the way of us aligning with our perfection, with our divinity, with that perfect flow of spirit coming in and through us. And to physically see that water rush through gave me goosebumps. And that's what the step of realization can do for us. It's our opportunity not only to declare what we know to be true about ourselves and our life, but to also declare what we are willing to remove and let go of. What are we willing to release? Because those things in front of the culvert that was damming it up in no way was affecting the water. It was only preventing its flow from coming through. So I invite you to ask yourself, what are some of those things that you are holding, consciously or not, that are getting in the way of you being your highest and greatest expression of the divine as you? What things are you ready to let go of and to release, to allow that abundant flow to come through in your life? Because you know what? We are all divine by design. There is absolutely nothing that we need to add to ourselves to make us any more than we already are. We couldn't be any more perfect, any more holy, any more magnificent than we are right here and right now. We simply need to let it go. And once we have done that, be prepared to see what you have chosen to say yes to in your life. And then be prepared to give great thanks. Because by giving and showing our gratitude, we are making room for more and more of it to be expressed in our lives. I know that many of us have a gratitude practice, and I can't even begin to explain how grateful I am to have gratitude partners in my life. Because when we align with the divine, when we put our attention on the good things and give thanks for it, we make room for more and more good. So this leads us to our last step. That is the step of release. And when we release, I'm simply letting go and letting God be God in my life. It's that simple, and yet it's not. It's not easy to let go of control for me. I can't speak for you, but for me, it's not easy for me to just step into that place where I surrender and I trust God to know what is for my highest and greatest good. And yet, the moment I do that, everything shifts. That space opens up in my life, and miracles happen. And the fact that I am standing here before you now, speaking my truth, is a testament to that. So, in closing, I just want to thank everyone who has come before me, whose shoulders I stand upon, who saw the divinity in me, and the goodness and the power and the presence when I couldn't see it myself. And all of you people, all of you who are here with us now, know who you are. and those who have danced through the veil, who I know are standing behind me, tickling my ear right now and whispering in the other ear, thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know what else to say, so I am going to simply let it be as we move in to our closing treatment. I know that there is only one power, one presence, and one infinite intelligence moving in, through, and as all of creation. For it is creation. It is the thought, the thinker, and the thing itself. It is that beautiful fabric, that tapestry of all life that interconnects all things in all ways. It is God. It is Allah. It goes by so many, many names, and yet it is so infinite that it is beyond description. And yet it is closer than our breath. It is the ground we stand on, the air that we breathe, the wind blowing through our hair, the sunshine warming our skin. It is everything, and there is absolutely no place where it is not. There is only this one divine presence and absolutely nothing else. And as I speak this word, I know that I am inseparably one with this infinite all. It is who and what I am. And as I declare this for myself, I declare this for each and every person in this room, each and every person beyond these walls, beyond this community, throughout the world, and beyond this planet. I know it is the harmony in our relationships. It is the abundance in our finances, the beauty of our world and our relationships. It is our creativity. It shows up as the divine order of all that is. And it is good and only good. And it is simply ours for the asking. So I ask you, what are you choosing to say yes to today? And then I invite you to expand that consciousness just a little bit more than you ever have before, to allow more and more and more good to come into your life. Because we are only limited by those thoughts that we choose to believe in that are holding us back. God can only say yes to what we ask for. So I invite you to boldly declare what you want, to boldly declare and announce who you are in this world, knowing that you are amazing and you are magnificent. Thank you, God. Thank you for this philosophy which has changed my life and as a result changed the life of everyone who comes in contact with me. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so glad that I'm almost done. So I simply release this into the law, which is already declared yes. It is so. And will you please help me anchor this by declaring outrageously, and so it is. And I didn't say
Congratulations, Laura.
You're introducing this. Oh, I'm introducing this song.
Hold on. Okay.
This is a traditional song honoring springtime, summer, wildflowers. Oh, the summertime is coming, and the winds are sweetly blowing, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pull wild mountain thyme from around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? I will build my love a bower by yon pure crystal fountain, and around it I will place all the flowers of the mountain. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pull wild mountain thyme from around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? If my true love she won't go, I will surely find another to pull wild mountain thyme from around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pull wild mountain thyme from around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? Will you go, lassie, go? Will you go, lassie, go?
Thank you, Laura and Anton, for the beautiful song. And let's celebrate together Laura Stewart's beautiful, beautiful first Sunday talk. She knocked it out of the ballpark. I think you will agree. We're so blessed to have her with us as part of this community. Yeah. Is my mic on? Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, something happened, so I think it was that incredible energy that Laura brought up here. It just blew my mic right out. So, as I was saying before my mic here died, thank you to Laura and Anton for that beautiful song, and thank you to Laura Stewart for her amazing, amazing first talk. I think you'll agree that she is a beautiful minister, maybe not licensed yet, but certainly a minister, and we're so blessed to have her in this community. So it's time now to turn our attention to the spiritual practice of sacred giving, where we get to give a portion of the good that we see coming into the places where we're spiritually fed. So I'd like you to say with me our affirmation, which you'll see up at the screen in just a moment. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and my belief. It does great work in the world, and it returns to me multiplied abundantly. There are a couple ways you can make a donation to Center for Spiritual Living Rogue Valley so we might continue our ministry and teaching. You can go to our website, cslroguevalley.org, and hit the donate button, or you can mail a check via snail mail to CSLRV, P.O. Box 1458, Medford, Oregon 97501. A couple quick announcements before we wrap up this service. We continue to have morning spiritual practice calls on Monday and Wednesday at 9 a.m. on Zoom. And Laura Stewart leads a Thursday evening spiritual practice and community connection call at 7 p.m. We have our next new home visioning coming up at 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday, May 18th. Laura leads that, and we invite anyone who has an interest in creating our new home to join us for that. The information about how to get on that call and other ways to stay connected are in our weekly newsletter, which comes out each Wednesday, and you can sign up for that newsletter on our Facebook page under email. Be sure to submit any prayer requests on our website. Our practitioner and minister team will pray for whatever your request is for the whole week, and we stand waiting to pray with you. We'll go now to our closing song, once again with Anton and Laura.
A classic. I think this was sung by the Peace Singers in Ashland for many years. Light Your Lamp. Let it shine for everyone, so we all may know, and we all may see that we are one great family. Light your lamp and pass it on. Let it shine for everyone, so we all may know, and we all may see that we are one great family.
Yeah, thank you, Laura. And Anton, thank you, Laura Stewart. Before we leave you, I would like to acknowledge our small but mighty Sunday crew that makes this broadcast possible. Our director this morning was Jason Rummel. On slide, Shannon Schnibbe. On camera, Connie Miner. And overall executive producer is Bill Miner, and our sound engineer, Tom Frederick. Thank you so much to all of you. And so, as Anton and Laura sang that last beautiful song, may we all remember that we are one great family, and may we all remember that we are all individual expressions of that beautiful one life called the divine. Blessings, my friends. See you next week. Namaste.